All right, we're live on the Off the Cuff show. Masai Lincoln and my good friend Jack Allen, local fighter. Good to have you. How are you?
Good, mate. Thank you very much. Yeah,
have
good.
you ever done anything like this before? Like any media, TV, radio, or anything?
Mate, none at all. So you're probably going to see me quite shy and nervous today.
No, it's fine. Just like I was saying before, just think of it as we're just chatting kind of thing.
Yeah, nice.
And honestly, people are listening kind of thing, but it's not like they can see. Well, we are recording, but no one can see us live right in this moment kind of thing. So I wouldn't worry about it kind of thing. So we're all good.
Don't have to do my hair.
So why don't you tell the people about what kind of fighting you do, what you're interested in, anything, how you got into martial arts sort of thing.
All right, yeah. I say I got into it when I was about, I think I was like a teenager. I did karate when I was younger, and then did that up until the age of 10 maybe. Stopped for a few years, and then my dad just got me into kickboxing one day. I don't know why. I think he just wanted me to get into something because I was doing no sport, was rubbish at football.
Yeah.
And then it was come down these classes. Went to his local kickboxing class, and it was one of those halls where it's literally just nothing. You know, there's got a few mats out on the floor and all that. But the geezer who runs that, Matt Mitchell, he's to this day, even all the people that have passed, he's up there, one of the best people I think who can fight. Yeah, he's sick.
So
he's so good.
This was your first coach?
Yeah, when I was younger, and he taught me how to punch and kick, do everything, definitely to a standard, but not so much sparring or anything like that. And then I did that up until the age of, and I went probably twice a week, and that's nothing in comparison really. When you actually put it in terms of things, and then I did that up until the age of about 16, and then decided that I want to take sparring a little bit more seriously, and a few older boys from this club that I was going to wanted to train at a place called Double K, which I didn't know at the time, but it was it's a well-known Muay Thai.
And this is near you?
Yeah, it's Bexley, yeah.
Oh, because you're around that kind of way, Sid Cup.
Yeah, Sid Cup, Elton, Bexley, that way. Yeah, and then went down there, and I think on the first day I just got the absolute beaten up.
Yeah.
Literally.
How did you find that? Was it because a lot of people find that what puts them off sort of joining martial arts gyms, or when they do get started, it's a bit disheartening to be wow, I'm not who I thought I was, or you're just getting beaten up for ages kind of thing.
Mate, spot on. I think half it is that you need to kind of realise that once you start getting a few more hits, you just need to get over that fear, because the amount of hits that you're going to start taking is just it's horrible, weird when you think about it. But no, it was good when I first went down there. But I basically got beaten up. Just against these full-blown Thai fighters that are world-class fighters, and they were just tapping away at me. But I was just getting butchered.
Yeah. And then, so how old are you?
I'm 27. Yeah.
Oh no! I mean,
back
when?
then.
Yeah.
I was
15, 16?
I was 16. Yeah.
And you're fighting against grown men.
Yeah, grown men. Yeah. Wow. But then at the time though, then there's, to make it put in comparison, there's basically people who are younger than us, who are 13, 14.
And they're beating you up.
And they're beating me up as well. Yeah. So it's
it's all about experience.
Exactly. And they've been doing it. I think one of the kids there, I think his name's Evan Jays, but I think he had 100 fights by the time he was 13 or 14. And he was English as well, he weren't Thai. So, and I think that was younger, but my statistics could be wrong there. But he was, he was insane. Even some of just loads of people down there. And then, did that for a few years, but I think it was starting to become I just wasn't really, I think I wasn't taking it seriously. And when I was younger, I wish I did. Because now I'm taking it a little bit more seriously. But yeah, when I was younger, I thought it was I was just going out there, turning up, learning a little bit, but I still kind of held on to that kickboxing style, which I've kind of got now a little bit, which is a bit more bouncy rather than Thai, where you're just standing there and take hits and hit again. But did that, then went uni, and then did a bit of MMA there, and then nothing too serious, and then came back from uni, and then now just got into COVID, nothing then, and then now got into Muay Thai again after the past maybe 2 years, just been back at it again, and then started this past year doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
So are you still white belt kind of thing?
Yeah, white belt, 3-stripe white belt I'm on. So
how are you finding the grappling kind of thing?
Mate, it's good. It's a nice, where they go hand in hand, my classes, because it goes Muay Thai first, and then an hour after, then you've got the jiu-jitsu lot coming. So I basically just stay around, whack a gi on, and then tie my belt, and then go.
Why don't you tell everyone what gym you train at?
So I train at Rochi's gym in Eltham, or New Eltham.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's right behind a pub called SCC, which probably isn't for the best sometimes because I'll slip in there. Yeah.
Do you know what's funny? I think that gym, it's so random because I remember just by chance you posted something on your Instagram story a couple of months ago, yeah. So I clicked on it and it was like an after session picture of like you and the guys you train with, and I clicked on the gym and I was on like the pinned poster there. They had Kamaru Usman, and I remember watching
Gaethje as well. Yeah.
Yeah, Gaethje was there, and when he rematched Leon Edwards at in London in the 2. But I remember watching that one embedded, so like they had all the cameras.
And
in
then
there.
the gym in there. Yeah, watch the gym. Yeah.
And I didn't obviously at the time because I didn't know you then. It didn't clock onto me, and I was like, oh wow, that's the gym. Yeah, it's crazy.
No, mate, that was a nuts feeling as well. I was at work that day, and we got I'm in a group chat with obviously my coach and all that, and he told me that night he was like, don't come into training tonight, blah blah. And we was like, oh, how comes? Like, it was like, just got some big news, don't come in.
Yeah.
And we was like, all right. And then next day I went work and. Probably around 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning. He sent I've still got the pictures on my phone. And he sent it into the group chat and he was like, look who's turned up at the gym. Man. And basically every single night I was coming back, he was like, yeah, they're training at like 11 or so. But it was just too late for me to kind of stick around.
So you didn't get to meet him?
No, they only got like the coaches who were there to like meet them and all that because they didn't want to, because at the end of the day, they're in camp. They probably don't want to start taking loads of pictures with the gym. And
I did see them. They did take because I remember watching like when it's fight week. I don't know if you've ever watched
embedded.
So good.
The quality, yeah.
But like Usman and Gaethje have both got like their own YouTube channels, and I was watching that as well. But they were like guys. I don't know if they were training partners, but they were like English guys, and they were taking pictures of them. They were at the gym, and you're right.
Yeah, they were at my gym. They're all late at night. But there were people from my gym. But the thing that I was like cracking me up about that is I don't know if you saw it, but it was like South East London and all that, and it came up like where they're at, and I'm not even joking. I was just like one of his coaches called Gladiators Unleashed or something. That's his Instagram name. But
is that the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy?
Yeah,
like a tall, light skinned kind of guy.
No, he's quite short and stocky. Like,
I don't know, because I know Trevor Whitman's like the head coach.
Yeah, He's apparently he's insane. Like my coach was telling me that it's nuts to watch him.
He won coach of the. It's funny because he had in 2021 he won coach of the year because he had Rose who was champion, he had Kamaru Usman who was champion, and Gaethje wasn't champion, but he got a title fight from his 2021 run. And he fought for a belt the year before, and he was coach of the year.
Yeah.
But the year after, they literally all lost, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's rubbish," but he's such a great coach. Yeah.
I think that's the thing with UFC as well, though. It's not even, well, mainly actually UFC, where it's like such one of the biggest promotions now, is that you get that, and people just get turned in and out all the time. Like quick. Yeah, exactly. Spot on.
It's very, what have you done for me lately, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And then especially when you get people like Dana White as well, who's always like trying to find the next big thing.
Next big guy, do you have like a particular martial art you're most interested in, like whether it's watching or practicing, or
I think,
or any kind of sport maybe? Is there one that you particularly find?
I think like to watch kind of fluently is nice. Is Muay Thai. It's just like watching that is it is impressive. I think that. To get to that standard, that would probably be like my goal. I think that I wouldn't even like to become. I wouldn't like not even become anything. So I don't plan on doing anything like that. I just do it more for like fitness fun. And mental health and fun. Yeah, but I think the actual idea of like getting to a state where I can just handle myself that well in the ring, that'd be like ideal.
Yeah.
But equally though, now that I'm getting into it, the belt system in jiu-jitsu is pretty fun. Like it's
I hear a lot of guys say that. They like there's a few guys I follow on Instagram and like they do like just jiu-jitsu kind of thing, and they're already on like a brown belt or purple belt, and it does take years. Like these guys have been doing it for years.
10 years to get a brown belt, like just
it's crazy, isn't it? Yeah.
And that's doing it religiously as well. Like I've been doing it for a year straight, and I've got 3 stripes, white belt. Yeah.
Have you done any jiu-jitsu tournaments?
No, I've got one coming up next on the 8th of June.
Where is that?
Blackpool. So my first ever one. Can people
buy tickets? Like, what is it called?
Yeah, it's called. It's All Stars BJJ. Blackpool 8th of June.
Okay, nice.
But I'm not going to lie. It's unless you kind of know jiu-jitsu a little bit, it's boring to watch.
To be honest,
it's so boring.
I love because I'm kind of like I don't follow. Like I know who like the head guys in jiu-jitsu are, like say Craig Jones. And,
who's a geezer with he was white hair, doesn't he?
Gordon Ryan.
Yeah, that's a Gordon Ryan. Yeah.
I know who these guys, and I appreciate their skill. But you're right, like. I don't find it that interesting. I do love grappling kind of stuff, but in say MMA, like
completely different.
Because like when you watch a guy like I don't know, say Charles Oliveira in jiu-jitsu, his jiu-jitsu is incredible, or like say the Diaz brothers. It's really fun to watch in like an MMA match. But yeah, you're right. Because I appreciate the skill tremendously, but for me, it's not like the funnest to watch.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. You've got more of an understanding of the MMA grappling, because I mean, I train a little bit of MMA now. One of my coaches actually, he's just got signed to one championship.
Oh, it's funny you mentioned one, because they do things like they'll do like mixed rules, and they
cage fight in a ring, like
and they do a lot of K1 stuff as well. Like they'll just do like, obviously Rotang sort of thing. And like do you know Mighty Mouse?
Yeah.
So I can't remember. I think he fought Rotang, and it's like they did the first round was just K1, like kickboxing, and then the second round was.
Well, they mix it up mid-round.
Yeah, so some fights they'll do like, okay, first round is just kickboxing, and there's no like say takedowns, and then the second round is all MMA, and then the third round might be like just like no leg kicks or just strike. They sort of mix it up so you get to see how good each guy is. Kind of
versatile.
And they do obviously, and also they do on their events. They might do say the first 3 fights are MMA, and then the next 4 fights are K1, and then the next 5 are just grappling kind of thing. They do it's quite interesting how they do it sort of thing. But yeah, ONE FC is good.
I think one's the best promotion to watch at the minute, to be honest. Like,
I think for purists, 100%.
Yeah,
definitely.
Because you can just get a range of everything on it.
Yeah.
Like even that geezer, the grappling one, I find it quite boring to watch as well though. But the
Tom Meskin, not Meskin.
Yeah, that one. Yeah,
the Italian guy with the glasses.
Yeah, and he always eats pizza and that. And comes up with those dead jokes on Instagram.
Yeah.
But
Meskin, I can't remember his name. It's like
Miskin Mini.
Tom Meskin or something like that. Yeah,
Mikey Miskin.
Mikey Muskers. Yeah, because the first time I heard it, he went on Joe Rogan a few years ago.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, like this is like 3 years ago because he's like quite young.
Yeah,
he's
young.
20.
Yeah.
He went on when he was like 17, and I saw a clip.
He must have been black belt then though, surely.
Yeah, he's like he's insane.
He's insane, yeah.
He was saying how like he eats pizza every day, and he's like he's Italian, and he's like, but he trains jiu-jitsu like 3 times a day since he was like 5 or 6 or something.
I feel like that's age love as well. Like I guarantee, give it another like 7 years or so, and that's going to catch up with him. You can't eat pizza surely, like every.
Yeah, I know it's nuts, isn't it? Some people have just got crazy genetics.
Yeah, I think saying that as well though. I think if you train that much, like you can. In my eyes, you can't out train a bad diet. Like that's me though. Like, do you know what I mean? But there's other people.
Some guys are just like got like the genetics.
Exactly.
Yeah. Are you big into like boxing as well?
No, do you know what, I like from a distance, but I think boxing is just over time is just a bit. I can appreciate it. But it's just not as fun. And I think equally the reason why I don't find it as fun is because when I box at my gym, it's just like I get battered. So it's I just don't find it as fun in all aspects.
Yeah. So do you not watch like the big fights? Obviously like Tyson Fury.
Yeah, like ones like that. But again, I'd probably watch it in a pub. Like that's what I mean. I wouldn't actually.
The atmosphere is good.
Yeah, the atmosphere is good for it. It's like watching Euro or something like that. I don't necessarily watch football, but like anything like that. But But yeah, I mean. Yeah, I'm not necessarily that big into boxing. Are you then?
Do you know what? Like for me, MMA is my #1 sport.
Yeah.
Boxing, I love boxing, but I only watch the big fights because boxing's so big and it's so hard to follow everybody. Like there's so many fighters you just haven't heard of or anything. And like even if you're properly into it, like I love. So for example, Tyson Fury fighting Usyk this weekend. I'm definitely gonna watch that. I watch the big fights when it comes to boxing.
Yeah.
Whereas MMA, I watch like everything pretty much. Like, whether it's
because some of the prelims I won, the undercards are unreal. They're better than the actual.
Like I don't know if you got to see like I know it's a one-off event, but did you get to watch UFC 300?
No, I didn't in the end. I only watched the main card and that. Only like little bit snippets of it. But yeah.
Like I've been watching MMA for that was the best event I've ever watched in my life. Yeah, like the Max Holloway and Justin.
That's the one way in the ground, weren't
Yeah, because you know what's funny? My mate, like
1 second.
Yeah, like my mate, like we were watching it. And usually, like, say, if I'm not doing anything, but I watch all the big ones, but if I'm not doing anything, like tomorrow night, I don't think I'm going out, so I'll stay up and watch the fight. Yeah. I'll usually watch the main card because it's on for like 6-7 hours. It's just too long, and it's on at like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I can't do it anymore though.
Yeah, it's just too much. But for this one, I was like, because it's such a big event and every fight was incredible, I was like, I'm going to stay, I'll watch the whole thing. Yeah. So we were up until like 6:30 in the morning from 10 o'clock. My mate had 300 quid on Max Holloway, who was the underdog. And I was like, I said he was going to win, but he was the underdog because Gaethje's bigger, he's a power puncher, but Holloway's like a better boxer and he's just quicker kind of thing. And he was clearly winning the fight, like 4-1 I had it sort of scored. And then he goes like, and I was like, oh my God, he could get knocked out. And then he just knocks. It was insane. Like we were going mental at like 5:30 in the morning. Like
I'm smiling now. But like literally, everyone I know though, like said that though. Everyone said 300 is the best one.
Oh yeah, that's the best event I've ever seen in my life.
I do need to probably watch it back to be honest, because like everyone is going on.
Yeah. Well, they're going back to the UK in July.
Yeah, that's the
in Manchester. But it's on at their like American time. It's horrible.
Because that who's that geezer from?
Tom Aspinall?
No, yeah, is he on that?
He's the co-main event.
Yeah, mate, he's actually quality as well. Like,
I love him. He's so good.
Yeah, he's come out of nowhere as well. Like that's what I think. Like
because he's been in the UFC for like.
He was in the COVID years. Yeah, that's he came up.
He got in like just before COVID, like 2019, and then because he was on the regional scene for quite a few years, and then he's just been incredible since he sort of he's blown up basically. And then, there's quite a lot of UK fighters on there. Obviously, Leon Edwards is the champ. He's defending his belt. You've got Paddy on there.
Joe, I was a fan of Paddy and what's her name? Meatball Molly. Yeah. But like, I think now they're just kind of like, it's more comical to watch them.
Yeah. To be honest, I do like them, but sometimes they can be a bit much, kind of thing.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's gonna be like I do like Paddy, but I think the UFC were kind of looking at him to make him like the next McGregor kind of thing. I just don't think he's got his ability kind of thing. And you look at how deep lightweight is at that division. Like he's fighting Bobby Green, who's like number 15th ranked or 14th. And he's like really good. Like he could easily win, but he could easily lose kind of thing. So I don't know.
That hype train kind of got derailed.
Yeah, and like his not his last fight, the fight before, where all the hype was on him kind of thing. Like he was the co-main event. He won.
He just scraped, didn't he? Yeah,
he shouldn't have
won.
It was such a terrible decision.
Who was that against? Because I remember I saw the clip.
Jared Gordon.
Yeah, because he walked away like everyone knew, didn't they? Yeah, everyone knew.
It was such a bad. One of the worst decisions I've ever seen, kind of thing. So it derailed the hype train a bit. But his last fight, he fought like Tony Ferguson, who is like one of the greatest lightweights ever. But he's old.
I'm sad about him though. Mate,
he's lost 7 fights in a row. He was the.
He was unreal.
Never got to fight for the belt either. He was so unlucky. Like.
But that's what I want to look at, because him and what's his name? Mate, who's the Californian kid?
Nate Diaz?
No, he's literally
Uriah Faber.
Yeah, Uriah Faber. Do you know what I mean? He's one of those ones who never won a belt or anything. But
to be fair, at least Faber, he was champion in WEC, which was the UFC before they bought him. So he was champion. But Tony Ferguson's so unlucky. Like he was scheduled to fight Khabib 4 times. Yeah. Wasted his prime. Never got a McGregor fight. He was. Interim champion, but never actually was undisputed. Sadly, it's just unfortunate kind of thing. And
now his time's gone. Well gone.
Sad, man. It's
I think you can see it as well, because even on the last one, watching it on that.
Paddy,
and even with Chandler as well, when he got basically taped in the face, didn't he?
Yeah, and it was sad because in the first round he dropped Chandler, and I was like going mental. I was like, oh my god, he's back, and then he got. I was actually so upset seeing him get like that. Only thing
so that's what I hate about tapes though. Just come out of nowhere and it's just like bang.
Yeah, I know that's the thing. Like, I mean, obviously I've never been kicked in the face. But it's just like you just don't. It seems like you just don't see it coming. Like, how do you even read that?
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, you don't majority of the time, do you? You just kind of get. Yeah, you get booted.
When you're fighting, do you like? What do you hate most? Is like, say, like, sort of a clean punch to the face, or like a really sort of strong leg kick?
I think. Just to clarify to everyone as well, is that like I fight N class at the minute, which is like shin guards. So my plan is eventually that I'm going to get obviously. So it's no head guard, 10 ounces shin guards, but the shin guards feel like a bit of paper on your shin. That's the thing that I think is quite good though, because they're like gearing you up until like the next step.
Okay.
But I think, just a quick one. I think hopefully in December, one of my coaches called Joe Rithjack, he's going out. If you ever watch his fights as well, it's insane. Like he's had about 200 and something odd fights. He's Thai. But he's
actually from Thailand.
And he's got a gym out there, like a family gym, I think. But he's people from our club. Well, one of my coaches, Sammy Hayes, 19 years old. He's incredible as well. He's up and coming, like huge, and he's they train out there. So hopefully, if I go out there and I feel comfortable enough, maybe do like a month camp and then see if I can get a fight out of there. But no shin guards, like full Thai rules.
You know, a lot of people say, obviously, because they invented that's sport kind of thing, but. You do see a lot of fighters from all kinds of, whether it's kickboxing, K1, MMA, they go out to all of these gyms.
Mate, it's the best place to go.
There,
But yeah, going back to your question, I think like with getting punched and everything like that, like I think like when you get cracked with a good punch, like on my last fight I had in Crystal Palace, mate, the geezer just got he got lucky on the first punch. I slipped down and went go cross him, but he just caught me on like just an overhand.
Yeah.
And mate, I don't remember a thing other than hitting the deck and just hitting the deck and jumping back up again.
Yeah.
Didn't think
pure adrenaline kind of thing.
Didn't think anything of it, but I was quite punch drunk after that.
Yeah.
And then, but I think ones where you do get kicked in the head in sparring is like that's when I've been properly properly kicked. It's like sparring, so I just gets too like happy. And mate, I've had it before where my neck has gone at the back of my neck, and it's just like, and everything just flops. You don't think
like
anything.
Jelly, it's just jelly.
Like, and you stand there and you're just dazed. And I remember like this was years ago as well, and I remember like had to get my nose redone as well because it was like that my septum went over the other side. I've got video of it. It's jokes, but that I remember I think it was about 21, 22 at the time, and I was, geezer just hit me, and it's just so weird what you do. You want to stop yourself doing it, but you can't. Like, you just go numb, you stare at them, and then all of a sudden they just come in with a 1-2, and then I was just out on the floor. You don't think anything of it, but it's...
And it's probably, like, I hear a lot of fighters say you don't even feel the pain.
No,
it's just like, it's more like a daze.
It's like euphoric, like it's really euphoric. Like when you notice something get done, but I think the only thing that does me now is that when someone gets a proper good punch bang on the nose, and it's just like you feel it go straight. You hear a crunching all around your head. Like, I don't know what it is, but I hear
it messes up your equilibrium.
Yeah, like mate, it does. Like, spot on. Like, everything just crunches and you go, and then you're just a bit like, and you just know straight away. There's no like your euphoric feeling. It just hurts. Like, it just straight up hurts, and you've got to like brave it. Like,
because this guy that I used to work with at like, I used to work at Sainsbury's before I worked in TV. I worked with this guy, and he's like an amateur fighter. I think he does K1 as well, and I think he's actually from like around your area.
Yeah. What's his name?
Jack Koshel.
Where's he train?
I can't remember his gym, but he did tell me about his gym like a couple of, I can find out for you after, but like, he was saying that he was like, I remember him telling me like he had this fight a couple of years ago, and he was beating this guy, and then he like landed a few leg kicks, and he was like, I was done, I just couldn't carry on. Like, my leg was just shot. Like, I was just like, wow, kind of thing. Because when you're watching it, obviously, when you're watching fighting and you see guys just kick each other in the leg, even if it's like a light one, you think that doesn't look that bad, kind of thing. But when you, obviously I've never had it done, but when you see it,
when you get,
and you hear fighters describe it, and their legs are like so sore afterwards, it just looks terrible.
I think the one that gets me is on like, because we condition at our class.
Yeah.
So at the minute we literally all squat up against the wall. My coach comes along and just kicks you in the leg, like to get your legs like kind of conditioned when they're strained as well. So you're literally squatting up against the wall when he's kicking your legs to condition them. And like the outside you can do, and like you after a while you can just like build up that like
tolerance.
Tolerance to it. But with the inside leg kicks, mate, I don't know how people do it. You get inside leg kicks.
You think that's worse, kind of thing?
That's worse, 10 times worse. Someone kicks you in the inside your thigh, mate. It's just.
I thought the worst was like on your like.
Calf kicks are killer because you can't do anything with them as well. Like you can barely train them, condition them. But yeah, mate, I'll say.
So I think like the inside.
I think when someone checks an inside leg kick, that's it. Like it's just game over. Like it actually does me bad.
Yeah.
But. Yeah, I shouldn't really be saying anything like this unless like my next opponent might find me.
So when is your next fight?
I think there's none going on in the summer. I was going to plan to do one on the Muay Thai Grand Prix, which is 22nd of June.
Where's that in London?
Yeah, that's at Indigo again. So the one you saw me at.
Oh, the one I went to too, yeah.
That's going to be there. I was going to do that, but I'm going away America.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I was excited to kind of do it, but I think my next move is to not do something as big anymore. Like I could, like, because they're huge shows I'm going on. Like, and I just think
like there was a lot of people there. When
and mate, like pro fighters all over the world come over to fight those shows, and like it's a good thing. But like I think I'd rather do
more regional.
Just literally in a hall, like just go to a hall and then have like scrap. But the thing that I like at the minute, which I've been doing, is interclubs. So I'm doing a fair few interclubs.
What's that?
Where you just go to another club and you fight another club. So
like your team versus their team.
Kind of, but then there's other clubs there as well. So it's like, and they always say, like they always send out a group WhatsApp message being like, right, no, like don't take the mick or anything like that.
Yeah, so and then, kind of like a level above sparring, but not.
Not a fight.
Yeah.
But then you say that, but then the thing that cracks you up is that when you get there, mate, you just go in, like you literally just go in. You're having a fight. You're probably taking 5% out your power.
Yeah.
But like, because the only reason they're not going to stop it is that you're not going to start clinching loads. You're not going to start like trying to bang them in the face or anything like that. Like as in knee him in the face. But yeah, everything else, you can just do everything else. So
Right,
they're good experience, but I think I'd like something a little bit more serious, but not as serious as...
Yeah, just like a step or two down, just to sort of get that sort of...
Much more experience
More
from
experience,
it.
just get like that ring time in.
Yeah, exactly, get the ring time in.
Yeah.
Because I think at the minute I've just like jumped into 2 big shows, and don't get me wrong, they've been close but it's like, I think I'd rather have just for myself. Like, I don't want to do it. It's a good day out though, like...
Yeah, like it was an experience. Like even when I was there, like it was a good laugh kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you see some of the fights, and to be honest, most of the fights were close. Because I was expecting a bit more, just like to be tune-ups for like the say bigger prospects. Or I'm just gonna blow this guy out of the water. But pretty much every fight was pretty evenly matched. It's not like anyone got. Now that I think about it, I don't think anyone even got finished, to be honest.
I think there was a few. The night that you saw me on was that they were all N class fights, and then a couple of C classes, and then they were who was it? Then there was 3 pro fights at the end.
Yeah.
But by then I think you went. I was already in the pub. Like I think I didn't stick around. But the night before that.
Oh, it was 2 nights.
Yeah.
Oh, right,
so the night before that was huge. That was everyone. That was all the. I think there was like 2 or 3 N class fights, which my mate was in, and I cornered him. I say cornered, I was literally in the corner.
Yeah.
And mate, I kid you not, his blood was like splattering all over, like he was dodging me, and that was fun to watch, because it was like a good experience to be there, and then knowing that I'm going to be there the next day.
Yeah, it's like you're getting a feel.
Yeah,
for
I got a feel for it, so I was quite chuffed with that. But yeah, that whole day was all pro fights, and that was quality to watch, mate.
I bet it was good.
It is good.
Why do you think it is kind of like? Because on paper, I've always thought, say kickboxing or K1, it should be, say, better than boxing, because obviously boxing's great to watch, but it's just punching.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, you're getting a bit more variation. Why do you think it is? It's never sort of reached into the mainstream kind of thing.
I don't know. I think I don't know about back in the day, but it just wasn't anything as big. I have no idea why. I think it's just the Thais. They own the sport.
Yeah.
And whereas now you'd get like a Westerner, i.e. us, who would go over to Thailand and then they would have fights over there.
Right.
And that's what you do. But I think the likes of now, because I mean back in the day there was like, my K-Star legacy is one of the guys who owns it, Damien Trainer.
Okay.
He's like old kind of Thai fighter. I mean, Liam Harrison, I don't know if you heard of him.
The name's
mate, if you watch him, he leg kicks wise, he is insane. And he's one who, he ran that fight, that one that you came to. It was his promotion.
Oh, that was his promotion. Okay.
So, yeah, that was quality. But he's like, back in their day, they weren't really as, like, they were huge names in their sport.
Right.
But they just never get recognised. And I think they were on a podcast with Joe Rogan as well. And then he was saying that, and Joe Rogan was saying
he loves like all of that K1 and all that kind of stuff.
And he was just saying it just never picks up. Yeah. And I think K1 can be a bit boring, to be honest. Like, there's no clinching. It's just straight up shots, but they're powerful, big shots.
But what I'm saying is, like, what makes me laugh is, say, when you're watching boxing, people are like, oh, well, this is not as exciting or not as good because we don't know who's the best fighter because they're just punching each other. But then when you get to an MMA fight and a guy's wrestling and he's dominating a guy, people go, oh, this is boring. But then when they watch, say, kickboxing or K1 or whatever, when it's just people striking knees, elbows, whatever, they go, oh, this isn't as good. I'm just like, there's no grappling, so it's like, what do you want? Like, if you're bored, watch striking.
I think like the main thing, I'm going to be biased, but like Muay Thai to me is just went that out of all of them. Like, you look at that and at any level, and it just looks good.
It's like aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, it's aesthetically pleasing to watch. Like the counters that you can get off, incredible. I think MMA is unreal to watch, but when you watch kind of low down promotions, it's just a bunch of people running into each other and they're pinned up against a cage, or they're on the floor in full guard and they're just like trying to get a punch in, but the person who's on the floor is just gripping someone because they don't want to get punched.
Yeah.
So I can understand how that's kind of boring, but I think the likes of now, going back to your question, is that there's Jonathan Haggerty. He's literally bought the sport. He was on like Muay Thai's on Sky Sports now. He's at Peckham, Hither Green or that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's incredible as well. Like he trains at Team Underground in Old Kent Road. But I'd always see him in Greenwich Park going up the hills and all that sprinting. Like,
I think a few people like I know, like I follow, I think they know him because I saw when he had, I think he had a big fight. He fights in one, doesn't he?
Yeah, mate. Yeah. Well, he's a double champion.
Is his brother in there as well? Or he's got someone in his family in there as well?
Yeah, Freddie Haggerty. He's He's just got onto it now. So. Yeah, I mean, it's incredible, both of them. And, like, John, if you watch Freddie Haggerty's fight, like, he's incredible. Like, they're both the same. Like, it's in their blood, definitely.
Kind of thing,
yeah, but they're incredible. But, like, that's something that's now, I think I can honestly safely say, give it 20 years, and they'll say that, like, John Haggerty probably brought the sport to fame a little bit now.
Yeah.
Because, like, it is becoming more of a recognised sport.
Yeah. 100%.
Like, we're in the golden age of it being recognised.
And then, like, and if it's not, like, so recognised now, like you said, in, like, say, 5-10 years' time, where can it be kind of thing? If they get some money behind it.
Oh, Sky Sports are now showing all their stuff. So I think it's definitely getting up there.
Yeah.
Like, you can bet on it now, you can do all this stuff. Like, it's definitely getting up there.
I think, once you get, like, some more eyes on it and just people sort of, like have you heard of, say, have you heard of BKFC?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I remember when that first came out, people were like, what the hell is this kind of thing? Whereas now, like, even me, I was a bit like, what is that? Now I'm, like, interested to watch it because it's like...
One of my old trainers, Jake Botswick, Brutal Botswick, don't know if you've seen him before.
Heard of him, no.
Yeah, he's on that BKFC now. He just like, trains out in Miami, just does that now.
Yeah, BKFC is like so fun to watch because like Mike Perry's just sort of made it so popular kind of thing. Because he was good at MMA, but he was a bit...
He's found his niche though, innit?
Yeah, like he's such a brute kind of thing. Yeah. Not in a bad way, but like he's such a like headstrong kind of guy, like, and he just wants to scrap.
He looks like the build to have that.
Yeah,
like, that's like
perfect.
Yeah, you look at BKFC guys and they literally look like someone who are made to do that. Like their faces are just like
busted up.
Yeah,
like he fought Michael Venom Page in BKFC a couple of years ago.
Oh, did he? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so they MVP when he was still in Bellator. Bellator let him do like a fight there with Mike Perry.
He's UFC now.
Yeah, he's in the UFC now. Yeah. So, but obviously MVP is like one of the best strikers ever, kind of thing. But he struggled. Not that he didn't get knocked out or anything, but he struggled with like this so ferocious kind of thing against Mike Perry in that kind of style of fighting, kind of thing. So, yeah,
you can't cover up. You've got to bob and weave so much. Your movement's got to be 10 times better than it has in boxing. Because you can't huddle up at all. As soon as you huddle up, mate, like your knuckles, like you see, like.
Well, I think he's got a what's his name? Jorge Masvidal's got his own like MMA promotion, kind of pushed by the UFC. It's called Gamebred FC, but it's bare knuckle MMA.
Right.
I'm thinking that is brutal.
Because that's where he come from though, as well, didn't he? He like made all his.
Yeah, like the street fights with like Kimbo Slice and stuff like that.
R.I.P.
Yeah. But he's fighting Nate Diaz in about a month and a half.
Oh, is he?
In boxing.
Oh wow, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's like a rematch because they fought in the UFC like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
But they're gonna do like a rematch in boxing. In,
mate, sick. I like the Diaz brothers though.
I love the Diaz brothers. So cool. Are you gonna be watching Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul? What do you think about that?
Mate, do you know what? My guy like all these like kind of YouTube fights and all that. I think that Jake Paul, like I don't know. I just like watching them because I want to see him get
knocked out.
Yeah, knocked out. Like I think that's what it is. Yeah. And Mike Tyson, he just cracks me up. Like whenever you watch all his podcasts, he's just sitting there.
High as a kite kind of thing.
Yeah, like what's that? Mike used to do like KSI.
Yeah. He's just a nut. And like George one makes me laugh where they got like Hasbulla in the studio. He thinks he's
a kid. Yeah.
He thinks he's like a little boy and he's like kissing him.
He's like grabbing him to bite his ear and all that.
It's so funny, but. Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen.
I don't know. I think that's what I like about it. But the thing that makes me laugh is that my coach Lee Roach, he does all the promotions for that. Like he does not security, but he's the one that is all
fight.
Yeah, no, he does it all for like Sci fights and all the
like Misfits and stuff.
Yeah, he does all the Misfit stuff. Yeah. Like he's always in the background of all of them. Like he does like the promotions for it. But he says the same though. Like he thinks that. He doesn't really care because it brings him money, but he's like they're terrible to watch and they're badly organised. Like.
Yeah. Because I actually went to one of those Misfits events like last year, like this time last year. Because my dad's mate fought KSI.
Oh right, yeah.
And he's like a influencer. He owns like a nightclub owner. Influencer.
Oh, right,
he's what's his name? Joe Fournier. He's from London, but he's like an influencer kind of guy. And like. We literally didn't. There was like 15 fights or something. We only went for the last fight, like the last 2 fights.
Where was this?
This was Wembley Arena.
Oh,
Wembley
right,
Arena.
Yeah.
So we were like, we got there and it was just like it was literally full of kids, and it was literally like it was just like full of kids, and there were people fighting in the crowd, kids fighting in the crowd. I was like, oh, what have I walked into? and like KSI won, but he like elbowed him. Then it got ruled as like a no contest. It was just like insane to watch. It was just.
I think the thing that I do like about all those like
Gimmick
kind of
fights,
promotions, gimmick fights, that it just kicks off everywhere, and I think that's what cracks me up.
Yeah.
And as bad as it is, because like I'm not condoning like just random violence, but it's just jokes to watch. Like when you see that I'm Just Bait geezer the other day, did you see that?
I saw that. He's fighting. I don't know who was that guy.
I don't know, but like just watching them, like they're both like two geezers like holding each other and they're talking. You see it like getting a little bit rolled up, and you think you two are just knobs. Sorry, yeah, but
that's right.
Just like you think, but it just cracks me up. And then when they have a fight, it's just funny. But then I'll tell you the best place to watch any fight ever is York Hall in Bethnal Green. Like, mate, if you ever go there, it's like the home of British boxing as well, but you're where the ring is, there's a mezzanine above it. If you're just, mate, you can stand above it and you literally feel like you're on top of the fight. Like it's insane how small it is. But the good thing about that is that where it's such a prized possession place, is that you also get low down fights there, but you get a bunch of like you have to sell tickets in boxing, like huge. Well, any fight style, you have to sell tickets. So you can imagine low down ones, you get 50 family members on one side, and you get 50 family members on another side. And mate, when it's like some of the big nights and they're having fights, all of a sudden their mum say something to their mum, and all of a sudden, mate, it's like you're seeing chairs get thrown around, and like they're just two lads trying to have a fight. And then you see all these families just like trying to wait each other in.
Kicks off,
mate, it's quality to watch. When you're on a mezzanine above as well, like I'm spurring everyone on.
Yeah, if you're not involved, this actually sounds pretty
quality,
good.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, I think that's why I'd like to go to one of them though, like just one of those Misfits.
You've been there before though, haven't you? Oh, you mean the Misfits one?
Yeah. I've been York Hall loads of times, but like the Misfits ones. I'd like to do something like that.
Yeah, like do you know what? Like even though the fight was terrible, but I was so
the
like
day out's
invested.
fun.
Yeah, but I was so invested in the Logan Paul, Dylan Dennis thing.
Oh
you know, like he was posting his fiance for months, kind of thing. And then the fight was just
They
awful.
do it well. They do it well.
Dylan Dennis promoted it well, and then you had who was it in the main event? It was Jake Paul. No, it was Tommy Fury versus KSI, and that was one of the worst fights I've ever seen. Like it was just nothing happened.
Well, he knows as well. He's just got bank, hasn't he? Like he just as soon as he can just fumble that fight, and then he's going home with a couple mil in his pocket.
Yeah, fair play to them. Listen, they're making money, so I can't.
I think he kind of knows that his career's done though. Tommy Fury, like he's on Love Island. He did Love Island. Like you're now in that bracket.
Bubble,
like you're in that bubble
to be honest,
bracket.
I didn't know who he was until he went on Love Island. I'd never heard. I didn't even know Tommy
brothers like that.
Tyson had a younger brother kind of thing,
No, mate, but that's what I mean. I feel like once you're in that bubble, it's hard to break away from it and to take you seriously as well. And I think fair play to him. He's smart. He knows what he's doing. I think he's just had to go down that route.
Yeah.
And do these YouTube fights.
Yeah, you're right. Because once you're like in that influencer bubble, and then you want to become a professional boxer. I'm not saying you can't do it, but like, say like with Jake Paul.
Yeah.
Like.
No one takes you seriously.
Yeah, because for example, he fought Ryan Borland in March, I think. Like you do in boxing, because Jake Paul's what, like 7-1, 8-1. At that stage, you're meant to be fighting guys like that kind of thing. But the thing is, because people know who he is, people are not interested kind of thing. So it's like, he can't win, because if he fights like a guy that he should beat, like a journeyman, no one cares.
Yeah.
But then when he fights an old guy like Mike Tyson, who people are interested in, if he wins, it's like, well, he should be beating him. He's an old man kind of thing. So it's like, you kind of can't win in that situation.
I think they make it. I think truly, even though Jake Paul says it all the time, like it's not about money and all that, but mate, it just is. Like I think they're just like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he's smart. Like because I think at first I used to be like, this isn't real fighting. I'm not interested in it, kind of thing. But in the end, I kind of like what his kind of thing.
Who do you think then is going to win on that? Like,
do you know what? I really want Mike to win because I think he can. Obviously, the power isn't gone.
Yeah.
But what I'm kind of worried about is he might last the first like 2 rounds or something, because there's only 2 minute rounds.
Yeah.
But because he's old, we don't know how well he can take a punch. Because he's fighting a guy that's 30 years younger, and I'm not saying.
Yeah, no, he's still, mate. He can still punch. Like, it's like Eddie Hearn. You know Eddie Hearn when he was talking about.
I didn't
see the interview.
No, I didn't.
It was like sorry to cut you off, but it was like an interview with Eddie Hearn and Jake Paul, and that geezer who's like he hosts it.
Ariel Hawani?
The one who does the actual.
He has like the glasses.
Yeah, I think it was and he was but he was talking about they were having an interview and he was basically saying to Jake Paul, and Jake Paul just could not grasp, because Eddie Hearn just went, what was the word?
You're bang average or something.
Yeah, not even bang average. It was like you're good. It was like, but it was like you're not great. It was like you're good. It was like you're like he was like, you haven't fought anyone good. Like, and like Jake Paul and it's so true what Eddie Hearn was saying.
Yeah,
like,
I think I saw that actually.
Yeah, because Jake Paul can still throw a punch. Like, he's still good, man.
He's got power, and he's got power. He's a big guy, and he's got power.
You give anyone that money, and you give the best coaches in the world, and then say if put you, and then
you
go away
for 6 years.
Go away for 6 years with the best coaches, mate. You're going to be a monster by the time you come out. Like,
do you think though, like, because I the way I see it is obviously Jake Paul. I'm not saying he's Canelo Alvarez kind of thing, but obviously he's big. He knows how. I'm not saying he's a great fighter, but he knows how to fight.
Yeah.
And what I'm worried about, from Mike's sort of perspective, is he might get hit, and how well can he take it? It's not like he
hasn't yet.
You know what I mean? It's not like he was Mike Tyson. Even Mike Tyson from 5 years ago, he would have destroyed Jake Paul. Do you know what I mean? But like, it's different. Like, when you're old and your body shuts down, like, to take punches and stuff. It's just like, because you never know, he could knock him out. Mike Tyson is good enough and strong, fast, like powerful enough to knock him out in one round, kind of thing. But at the same time, it might get to the 4th round and he gets like jabbed in the head and it's over, kind of thing. So it's just like, who knows what's going to happen? That's why I guess it is kind of interesting, because you don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, I think I'm definitely going to be watching.
And that's what I mean. I think it's like big kids like me, like 27 years old, like watching it, and I know I do get excited for it. Like, I think, I don't know. Yeah, I'd like to see the outcome. Like, I'd like to see, but in an ideal world, I'd like to see him get knocked out and this kind of get ended a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, and also as well, and there's some other good fights on there, like the co-main event, Katie Taylor against Amanda Serrano rematch, which is a great fight, and then they just announced this week Darren Till versus Julio Chavez Jr. So they're fine. So there's some it's not just like influencer stuff. So there's some interesting fights on the card, kind of thing. So I'm looking forward to that. And it's only like 6 weeks away, I think.
Is it now?
Yeah, maybe it's like start of July, I think is when it is. So yeah, I'm interested to see what happens, but I just hope Mike Tyson doesn't get like knocked. If he loses, it's not the end of the world. But if I would hate to see him get I would hate to see him get like flatlined, kind of thing. Because that's just a guy at that age shouldn't be getting knocked. Like, shouldn't even be.
It looks horrible. Really. It don't look nice.
It's a bad visual kind of thing. So we'll see.
Yeah, because it's the same as like Mayweather though. When you watched him get like up against Logan.
Oh yeah, but Logan's not very good, and it's just like Floyd is still fit and like he's basically never left the gym, kind of thing. Like, you know, I think there's a point in the fight where he clips Logan, and he's like,
and it looks like
he's
like holding him back up.
Oh yeah, it's just like, and he's like, you got to think Logan Paul must be like 220 pounds or something. I reckon Floyd probably is about 160 at most, kind of. He's small as well, like, and he's holding him up, and he's like this little. It was just, I didn't even watch the fight. It was just ridiculous, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? So, I don't know. But
I think that ones are a bit ridiculous. Like, that was just, I had no interest in that. Because that was like the original one that they'd done was like, what was it, McGregor and Mayweather. That was like the first one that set all this off, innit? Like, it's like two worlds crossing over. But
I think it would have happened regardless, you know, like whether the McGregor fight happened or not. I still think this influencer thing
would have kicked off without that being there.
Yeah, I think it would have still happened, you know, because I think with the McGregor one, I mean, obviously in hindsight, it's easy saying that Floyd was always going to beat him, and he was. Like, the odds were insane, but I think because Conor can box and he's got power and he can punch, like he had like a puncher's chance.
He was calling out everyone as well.
Yeah, and he had already done everything in MMA. He was double champion, like there was nothing else for him to do, and he got 100 million. Do you know what I mean? So it's just like,
I'm excited to see that fight with Chandler though as well.
I'm nervous because McGregor's my favourite fighter.
Yeah, I know. So that's what got me properly into. I know it's
MMA,
like when I was younger.
Same. No, that's what.
I know everyone jumps on that, but I watched it a little bit when I was younger. But it'd be like your originals, like
Anderson Silva, John Jones,
Iceman, what's his name?
Chuck Liddell.
Chuck Liddell,
guys. George St Pierre. Those guys.
I'd watch them, but again, that'd be like you'd actually have to physically go out and get a DVD for that, like a tape or anything like that, wouldn't you? Like,
it was on like Spike TV back in the day. Like, I think it was on BT Sport at first, and then you had to like go out of your way.
You had to physically go and buy it.
I think McGregor made it so. And you know what's
for
funny?
our generation, especially.
Because I didn't even know MMA existed, because I remember, like, have you watched the show Friends? Do you know it quite well?
Yeah.
So you know, like in that episode,
that's the UFC back in the day.
That's got Bruce Buffer in it. I didn't even realise until I watched
again.
And I was like, wow, this is like the UFC. But back in the day, I didn't even know MMA existed, because I used to be, when I was like about 12, when I was a kid, I was like obsessed with WWE, but I always thought it was real fighting. And then when I got into like year 7, year 8, someone told me, you know, that's fake. And I was like, what? And I just,
that was it.
And I never watched it again. I was gutted. But if I had known what MMA was, that would have been like a perfect transition. But I remember like 7 or 8 years ago when McGregor was like on his rise, I saw a video on Facebook, and it wasn't even like a video of him fighting. It was just him like trash talking people.
Yeah.
And I was like, is this guy like a real fighter? Like, I was like, this guy an athlete. And I searched him up, and I was like, watched every fight. I watched every video. I was like, this guy is. I
watched him on like, I think it's Cage Warriors, weren't he? I think
he was on Cage Warriors.
That's the only bit of MMA I was kind of interested in at the time, because that was the only thing that I was actually watching when I was younger. Because like I said, going back when I was 16 or 15, I was doing a bit of MMA and stuff like that. Then I think they'd tell me to go watch these fights, and that'd be the only thing kind of locally I'd go and watch. But I think prior to that, the only one that I remember like MMA came up, and it's a funny story about it. Do you remember that Lee Murray?
Yeah, the bank robber.
Yeah, the bank robber one.
Mate,
so that's local to like my area, or that.
Oh, is he from like that kind of...
That's Kidbrook and like that area. Yeah. So around there, but locally to that area, his best mate, who also done a robbery, was Paul Allen.
Yes.
But my dad's called Paul Allen, and there's only 3 other Paul Allens in that area, which is him. Another one, I think the other one was from like Woolwich. I'm making this up now, and then but then one of them Sidcup. So it's like all in the same, all in that same area. And the police came at our door, and like when that was going on, and they asked for my dad to come downstairs so they can identify him.
Oh, so they thought it might have been him.
They thought that Paul Allen was was the one who done it.
That's insane. Because that Lee Murray thing, that was like. He's like half Maltese, isn't he? Like
Moroccan, innit?
Something like that. Yeah. It's either like Malta or Turkey or something like that.
Yeah, because he's in the prison now. He's over there.
Oh, yeah, it's funny. I was reading about him the other day, and he's still in jail. Yeah. Because he fought Anderson Silva in cage
he was the only one to knock out Tito Ortiz as well, weren't he?
I think so. Yeah.
In the street fight, not even in like.
Yeah, wasn't that like in the lift or something?
Yeah,
no,
it was outside of the Troxy. I think that's where it was. Outside Troxy in East London, commercial road.
Yeah.
But
it's mad because he fought Anderson Silva before the UFC. Like they fought in cage rage in London, which is just nuts. And he's like a genuine
he's
gangster
nuts.
kind of thing. Like it's insane. Like,
but that's what cracks me up. And I remember watching that, and I remember my dad saying, he's like some cage fights. It was massive news. I don't know if you remember it that well, but it was massive news like around like everywhere. But I remember everyone asking about my dad being like that because it's just funny that. And I remember my dad, and that's how I kind of recognised MMA a little bit because I was like, oh, he's an MMA fighter.
Yeah.
But
it's nuts, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it was crazy.
But yeah, it's weird because I feel like MMA has kind of just gotten more, especially since COVID. It's got seriously popular because it was like the only sport on at the time, and I think people that was
cool to watch though as well, watching those hits without any crowd.
What's annoying is they're still doing those, not all the time, but they're still.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, like for example, this weekend they have Edson Barboza's fighting Leroy Murphy, undefeated fighter from Manchester.
Yeah.
Barboza's like great. Like actually, he's one of the best Muay Thai fighters.
Yeah,
in the UFC.
And
like he's fought Habib. He's not fought some of the best people in like the lightweight division and featherweight division, but basically they still do like half of their events behind closed doors because it's just cheap and easy for them. I think they're slowly moving away to more shows.
And then film it. And they obviously film it.
They're still live on TV, but like it's painful to watch. Like sometimes it's just like obviously I still watch it. So I'm a bit of a hypocrite, but like it's painful to watch. Like the gimmick of like I can hear the coaches and I can hear the strikes landing doesn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Like obviously you still see great fights, but like the crowd makes such a difference.
I forgot what one of it was. You hear like geezer burp. And it was something like that. And
I don't even know. There's so many fights.
Yeah, there was like one of them, he like burped or something. And he was like, and the other fight was like, is that your dinner? He was like, yeah. But it was just jokes, the fact they were talking to each other like that in the fight.
Yeah, so it's cool when you can hear them talk sort of thing. And it's funny because they can hear like the commentators as well. Like it's just.
It's too much. Oh, who's the one that got, talking about people talking in fights? Who's the one that got
Kevin Holland?
No, he's got his family. It's like some attacker came into his house and tried to.
Oh, Anthony Smith.
Yeah, mate. Have you seen him in the fight? Mate, where he go, you're trying to get my family. You're trying to kill my family, and he's like, what?
Yeah, because someone broke into his house.
Yeah.
A few years ago, and like
he wrestled him on the floor.
He like beat the hell out of this guy, and like Anthony Smith is a great fighter. Like he fought John Jones for the title 5 years ago. Like he's had over nearly 60 professional fights.
Ugly looking bloke.
Yeah. And he was fighting Johnny Walker last year. And Johnny Walker's a bit of a character as well. And he's like, what? Like, and he's Brazilian. And he's like, what? And that
was scaring me though, watching it. Like you could tell he was trying to, because obviously it was like a hypnosis thing, weren't it? He was like, you're trying to kill my family.
Yeah.
He was like, what?
Yeah. It's funny, he actually fought 2 weeks ago and he won.
Yeah. Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I didn't even know.
Yeah, and he was like he's always like a massive underdog. He won. He's literally had nearly, I think that was like his 56th or 57th pro MMA fight.
Really?
Yeah.
Mate, I mean, he looks it though.
Yeah, and he's a really good fighter. Like he's good at his jiu-jitsu is really good. He's very well rounded, but like He fought John Jones for the belt 5 years ago, like good fighter kind of thing. So, but yeah, it's just But even still, even with the crowd when they talk, there are some guys that are talking the whole time. Like there's this guy called Kevin Holland called Big Mouth, and they have this thing in the UFC called Dana White's Contender Series, where they try and get guys from like the regional scene and the smaller promotions to kind of do like.
Oh, was it kind of like that? What was that original one?
So they still do the Ultimate Fighter where they live in the house, the reality show. They still do that once a year.
No, the one where they go. It was actually quite good to watch. It went off it was Dana White, two others.
Oh, Matt Serra.
Yeah. What was that
Thomas.
Called?
Dana White's looking for a fight.
Yeah. Mate, that was quality.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, they still do that, but not as much.
That's like Sage Northcutt was on it.
Sage Northcutt. He's in one now.
Yeah.
Now. But yeah, so they had this guy called Kevin Holland, and basically that Apex I was telling you about, the behind closed doors thing, where they basically, it's kind of like they get these local guys that you've never heard of to fight each other, and if you win like a UFC contract, if you beat a few guys in like a couple of weeks or whatever. And they've made a few champions from it now. They had like Sean O'Malley, they had
quality as well,
Jamal Hill, who fought in UFC 3, who lost to Pereira the other day. Other guys that have like really made a name in the UFC, Bo Nickel, I don't know if you've heard of him. But this guy Kevin Holland, like he was beating everybody. He fought in Bellator, but he was talking the whole time, like literally talking to the opponent, talking to their coaches, talking to his coaches, talking to the crowd, talking to the commentators. And Dana was like, yeah, he's a great fighter, but he just wouldn't shut up, so I just didn't give him a contract.
Yeah.
Anyway, someone pulled out of a fight, so they needed someone last minute. He was like, oh, let's get Big Mouth. And even in the UFC, he's still talking like to his opponent. He fought MVP the other day. Like he's still talking to it. They're talking to each other, kind of thing.
That's what raking the views are as well, like mate.
Yeah, people love that kind of stuff.
Again, going back to it, McGregor set all that off, like.
Yeah, I mean, the first guy to sort of trash talk before McGregor was like Chael Sonnen.
Oh yeah.
And he was kind of like a WWE wrestler type. It's all fake. It's like a character kind of thing.
It's kind of like oh mate, Joe's quality. I love that era as well. But going back to that trash talking, there's Cody Garbrandt and
TJ Dillashaw.
No, the
Dominic Cruz.
Yeah, Dominic Cruz, mate. Watching them two, but like Cody's just got no IQ
whatsoever. And Dominic Cruz is so
smart. Yeah,
and he's just winding them up. But it's funny because.
But that was good trash talking.
Like, and the fight was good. Like Cody, like just.
Oh mate, that was one of his best. That's actually up there, one of my best fights to watch.
Yeah,
like that was
title
insane,
fight as well.
mate.
And Dominic Cruz is arguably the greatest bantamweight of all time.
Like
and he just sort of
switches.
Yeah,
like,
it's insane. It was an insane fight. We've only got like 2 minutes left. It's insane.
Yeah.
But it was fun to watch. They go in. The next big one is Dustin Poirier's fighting Islam Makhachev.
Oh yeah.
Wait, like I want Dustin to win so
Oh
bad.
mate, Joe. Before we got 2 minutes, there's one of my jiu-jitsu team, one of the coaches at this other place I trained at, Purple Belt. He just came back from Holland, I think, doing a comp, and I think he went with Islam was there.
Oh really? Oh yeah, I saw Islam
he slammed
was there.
it. No, he slammed him in. It was a no slam contest, and he picked him up and slammed him on the floor. One of my coaches.
What kind of talk? Was it jiu-jitsu?
Jiu-jitsu. I think I might be getting the two fights mixed up. I got a video of it. It's like it's nuts watching this UFC fight. I ranked, literally couldn't get out of this 18-year-old guard.
Yeah, it's
literally
crazy.
So he just picked him up, threw him on the floor. Like, nuts.
Islam's a beast, man. He's probably the best fighter in the world right now, I'd say.
Yeah, nice, sick.
Yeah, but I would love Dustin to win because I would say he's the greatest fighter to never win a UFC title. We've only got a minute left. Do you want to tell people maybe like your Instagram or like where they can watch your next fight or your gym or whatever?
I think no, my Instagram's pretty dead, but I think if anyone get down to Roachie's gym, SE9, New Eltham, have a look at that gym. It's an amazing small gym, and honestly, it's like a family down there, and it's up there one of the best gyms around.
And is that for like anyone can join it?
Anyone can join, and I promise you'll be the most welcome person there. Like everyone make you feel welcome.
So even for like beginners and
stuff? Everyone will love it. I promise you.
All right, well, this has been good. I mean, we should do this again because
man, definitely, yeah.
When
we haven't covered anything.
Yeah, like usually it's 2 hours, but like we have to sort of get in and get out. But like when we have more time, we'll do it again. So. It's been off the cuff. It's been my boy Jack Allen. He'll be on again, so we can talk some more fights and stuff. When we got more time, we'll do it again. But yeah, it's been off the cuff with Masai and Jack. See you later, guys. See ya. Bye.